I love going to the theater. You know who else loves going to the theater?
Elizabeth Olsen.
Elizabeth Olsen. So this is from In Style magazine, which is probably why I don't know about it. She did an interview and talked about being in movies and really just like, look, if it's coming out in theaters, I'll do it. If it's a streaming movie only, I'm out. Alan, I know you have notes from In Style, a magazine I understand you read a lot.
Yes. I guess this one's just sitting in the corner while I get to it.
Well,
because I got to get through this one's GQ, which is actually an interesting issue. But yeah, In Style is on the desk right now. Well, anyways, Elizabeth Olsen says she will only sign on to films that guarantee a theatrical release, refusing projects designed from the start for streaming. I don't want to make something where that's the end all, she explains, adding that she believes movies are meant to be experienced together in public spaces. For Olsen, the theatrical model is most spiritual. I think it's important for people to gather as a community to see other humans be together in a space. She worried about post-pandemic habits and digital isolation are pulling audiences further apart. She's determined to support films that bring people back to the theaters. Olsen also acknowledges the role Marvel has played in her career, especially in giving her the freedom to choose the kind of theatrical project she wants. Playing Wanda Maximoff has been both fun and meaningful for her, saying, "Making the films is joyful. I jump at the opportunity to be in her shoes again." She credits the MCU for providing a stable foundation that lets her pursue smaller, curated films the way she prefers. Still, Olsen's priority outside of Marvel is clear. She wants her movies on the big screen where she believes cinema truly belongs.
I love this that she came out and said it. I'm a theaters only person. Like, there was a business model that worked in Hollywood. A movie would come out. Okay. It's out. Right. And then it would leave theaters, and it was 6 months before it came out on say first pay-per-view. Then maybe around that time the DVD came out. And then a year later, and it would be maybe 9 months to a year later, it'd turn up on cable like HBO or Stars or Cinemax or whatever. Movies had a business model that made money. Now that big tech has come in and streaming is going to save things, everyone's making less money. Maybe this model doesn't work. Maybe, I mean, it seems, and I've said this before, whenever one of the tech companies comes in, what they're coming in to do is add convenience to what the business is, whether it be hotels, whether it be taxis, whether it be movies and TV. We're going to add convenience. Convenience. I push a button, I get food delivered. I push a button, someone comes and picks me up in a car and takes me somewhere. I push a button and a movie magically appears on screen. Well, what we've given up with convenience, we've diminished the profits for people doing the actual work. It's almost mafia-like, the way that tech is coming in. This is why I don't fully trust AI. Because what it will do is reduce the number of jobs for the studios, put more people out of work. Okay? So, I like people like Elizabeth Olsen holding the line, or a Chris Nolan, or a Tarantino, because we're not going to get any more Tarantinos and Chris Nolans with the current model.
69.
Alan, any thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, theater's like church. You can't do church online. You got to be with people. We've seen a few Netflix movies in a theater with people,
right?
And we've enjoyed those Netflix movies in a theater with people. You mentioned it. What's the experience of watching F1 on your big screen TV? Nowhere near as cool as being in the theater to see it. There, I think this is the saddest thing, is just these studio executives don't understand how important the theater is, and that even if it means you spend a little more money or a lot more money, that the theatrical experience is worth it, and the theater is worth keeping open and supplying with a steady stream of good movies.
And theaters, in a way, like having a theatrical release increases the value of the movie. That's, I think, what's important. So let's get back to that.
Yeah. Let me just say, there's a lot of movies I haven't seen in a long time, and I specifically avoided watching them on TV, knowing that they were going to be re-released in theaters, and I went to see it then. I could have seen Rocky Horror Picture Show at home, but no, I chose to see it by myself in a movie theater. Back to the Future, another one. I'm going to hold off. I don't need to see it until I see it in the theater.
I love Back to the Future.
Mm-hmm.
I love that movie. I have tickets to see it next week. I have tickets. I am super excited. We will do a review. We will do a re-review of Back to the Future. But hey, in a story related to our main topic today, Warner Brothers Discovery has received interest from multiple parties. Let's get into this story from Deadline. Alan, let's talk about it.
Hold on, let me find it.
And here's David Zaslav here, much criticized, but apparently this has been rumored for a while, and now it seems this is actually in discussions. Let's say that doesn't mean anything, but go ahead, Alan, give it to me.
Yes, Warner Brothers Discovery has confirmed that multiple companies are interested in either buying the entire company or major pieces of it, including Warner Brothers itself. This comes as Warner Brothers prepares to split into two separate businesses, one focused on film and streaming, the other on traditional television, Discovery Global. The board has now launched a formal review to explore all strategic options, including possible sales, mergers, and alternate split structures. The renewed interest follows a rejected bid from David Ellis and Skydance Paramount, which WB felt undervalued the company. With a rare Hollywood studio effectively on the market, speculation has grown about potential buyers ranging from Apple to Comcast. Though Netflix has indicated it is not likely to pursue the deal, Warner Brothers CEO David Zaslav said the outside interest reflects the significant value of the company's assets, especially its studio and streaming divisions, which the split is designed to strengthen by separating them from the declining cable business. The move mirrors Comcast strategy of spinning off cable networks, signaling an industry shift as traditional television viewership continues to fall and the consolidation accelerates. Following the announcement, Warner Brothers stock jumped 9%, and investor attention is expected to stay focused on buyout rumors as CEO commentary throughout the upcoming earning season.
Look,
hold on. Let me set the picture,
please.
Here. But Discovery, ran by David Zaslav, buys Warner Brothers. They become Warner Brothers Discovery, and now they're interested in splitting it between Warner Brothers and Discovery.
Right. Oh my God, you're right. It's utterly ridiculous. It's a shell game here, and it's a lot of a lot of corporate heads like engaging in a dick measuring contest. Okay, that's what this is, and we're gonna see. I have no inside info. This is merely a theory. There are a lot of things that they have that are worthless, like CNN, right?
Yeah.
Like that is legacy media, expensive, and it's all prescription drug ads. That's what's keeping CNN afloat, which may or may not influence the news. I don't know. Does
The way
it? You
stories are
tell
told
me.
about drugs and
You
pandemics
know,
and things.
does it influence? Who can say? All I'm saying is that's a losing business right there.
Mm-hmm.
But there are parts that are worth quite a bit. So I think this may be sold off when, when a car gets totaled, there are still pieces of the car worth a lot of money. And what may happen is parts will be sold off. So it may not be some one giant deal. It may be, who knows, DC being sold to another company. I'm not saying that Netflix would buy DC because they would inherit what? A comic company, all the brands and to make movies and series from. I don't know. I mean, I think that would be terrible. I think the more companies, the better. Competition, I think, is good. But I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised by this.
I'm trying to think of what company could best take DC and transform it into a girls' brand.
I don't know, but I'll tell you what, Marvel versus DC could happen if Disney bought it. I think I'd be happy for Disney to sell off everything.
Or better yet, how about Disney buy DC and then have both companies?
Disney, please sell off Marvel and Star Wars. Make them boys brands again. That'd be great.
Yeah. I mean, I just find it interesting that because the sense you get reading these headlines is that the great experiment of Warner Brothers Discovery is not working.
Yes.
It had a good start at the beginning of this year. It had 7 films earn 40 million opening weekend. Many of those films doing very well in the box office, and I think that's probably helping its bottom line in terms of what kind of price it could get compared to earlier this year. It just, I think Netflix buying it. Why would Netflix buy a movie studio and have a company that's not going to send movies to the theaters? Can you imagine no Warner Brothers movies going to theaters? Because
that's why I think Netflix is a bad idea.
Yeah, and then Paramount is not going to do it. I don't think the FCC is going to allow Skydance to have a third movie studio under its management. And so I don't know. And Universal going to buy it, or Comcast, I should say. I don't know. It's just an interesting time. And I never thought that with the success Warner Brothers has had so far this year that they would entertain this. Shoot, I doubled. I was an owner of Warner Brothers stock earlier this year. I doubled my money. Had I held on to it, I would have tripled my money.